जंग के मैदान में where the mother has to win and the child has to lose.
Indian plates are loaded with good amounts of carbs, but balance and quality of food also depends majorly.
What deficiencies do you see most common in children today?
Iron, vitamin D, calcium, and zinc are very common.
What are the essential fats that are needed for child's brain development?
Either आप देसी घी खा लीजिए, nuts include कर लीजिए, seeds खा लीजिए.
Obviously, milk is a great source of nutrition for kids, but I often see moms with a glass full of milk running behind their children. The only thing the child is saying, I just don't like the taste of milk.
Right.
So, how do you encourage parents to overcome this battle?
If your child is not drinking milk only because of the taste, then we have so many options, with us now.
Let's make this a fistful of 5 healthy, nutritious food, daily rituals and habits. Then make sure that they're sleeping well, they're playing very well, and of course, I think the 5th one is love, love, love. I almost feel like as a mom, I'm playing 100 different roles and it's already overwhelming to feel like I'm also supposed to play chief nutritionist officer
Right.
and know इतना कैल्शियम जा रहा है, इतना जिंक जा रहा है, हंगर स्केल हो जहाँ पे 1 to 10 हो. Make sure that your child never drops on a hunger scale below 5. Parents, if I were to start fresh today, right from zero, like rewind 15 years ago, I would do one thing very differently. And that one thing would cut your child's growth challenges into half. And yes, I'm talking about the way we feed our kids. Our kids are eating more calories than ever before, yet getting less nutrition. Their tiffins look full, but their bodies still missing essential proteins, vitamins, nutrients. At Kidsstoppress, we always believe that parents deserve clarity and not confusion and guilt. That's why today we're talking to someone who truly understands what holistic growth looks like for children. Joining us today, we have nutritionist Pooja Bohra, one of India's leading nutritionists who works closely with families and helps build healthy eating habits that support growth without the fuss. I hear you, parents. I know you're always feeling overwhelmed when it comes to food. If you're a parent who's starving for straight answers about how much protein, how much carbs, how much vitamins, how much fiber that my child actually needs, and how to build that balanced, sustainable eating habit, this is a conversation you do not want to miss. Hey Pooja, thank you so much for being with us today, and it's an absolute pleasure to have you. You're looking brilliant, by the way, which only goes on to show that what you eat is how you radiate.
Thank you
right?
so much.
But of course, we're talking about children today. And this question is a very obvious one, which is right now, I just spoke to you about the signs, which is what you eat is what significantly shows back as a sign on your
Absolutely.
face. For children, obviously, the signs are growth, right? And what are some of the biggest signs that a child is growing at the rate and pace that they should? What are those key milestones of growth?
See, every child has own different kind of milestone, whether it is their height or weight, that depends on their heredity. But yeah, if your child is growing and if you see some kind of changes in few months down the line, that they are not going about, around that base of height and weight, then it's a concern that there is some kind of nutritional deficiency that your child is going through.
Right. Height specifically is a big growth marker for a lot of parents, right? Like we've grown up with summers having a height chart and all of that.
Absolutely.
And more often, I think parents look at it as genetic. But I was recently watching something where they said if we look at parents like Sachin and his wife, right? Sachin
Right.
Tendulkar and his wife, and their son is really tall. So if we were to look at the role of nutrition to defy those genetic norms,
Right.
what sort of role does nutrition play?
Frankly speaking, yeah, 90% genes play the role and take your child to that height. But nutrition and good food takes your child well to that height growth. Otherwise, there are some kind of deficiency which leads and does not take you to the growth of what your genes has to take you to the height. So this is a difference and important of nutrition food in the diet.
Right. So we are saying 90% can be genes and 10% role can be played by nutrition. So, if you are not very tall as a family and as parents and, in your gene pool, then you still have that 10% play, and therefore giving your child complete nutrition at all points in time is such an important decision and an investment that we as parents, caretakers need to constantly make. And for that, we always need to be empowered. Obviously, milk is a great source of nutrition for kids. But I often see moms with a glass full of milk running behind their children. ऐसा लगता है कि जंग के मैदान में where the mother has to win and the child has to lose, and then milk is thrusted down. And the only thing the child is saying, I just don't like the taste of milk.
Right.
So how do you encourage parents to overcome this battle?
Milk is super nutritious, but if you are allergic to milk, there are other options what you can offer for your calcium or vitamin D intake, like ragi or a peanut butter milk or a soya paneer or nuts or seeds. But if your child is not drinking milk only because of the taste, then we have so many options, with us now. So we are lucky to have such options. And I've come across this Bonvita zero added sugar with all strength nutrients. And this has such a yummy chocolatey taste. आपको बस क्या करना है, 2 चम्मच बोनवीटा जीरो एडेड शुगर अपने 1 कप मिल्क में ऐड करना है, and trust me, your child will love the milk. And Mansi, if I may add, what I really like about this new launch? Bonvita has all its nutritional goodness in this formula without adding any sweeteners like sucralose or aspartame. Moms are empowered to choose their preferred sweetener. And honestly, when the taste, the chocolatey flavor is yummy and it's nutritionist approved.
I feel as a parent, or especially as a mom, I'm really overwhelmed at sometimes because I feel like, there's just so much of information on the right macros, right? Like
Right.
divide your plate into 3, so much carbs, so much protein, so much fat, all of that. For your child's food, what does that macro balance look like in a day?
See, for kids, obviously they need good amount of carbs. Our Indian plates are loaded with good amounts of carbs, but balance and quality of food also depends majorly. So it has to be well balanced. Carbs give your kids energy. Proteins, it helps in the growth of your kids. And fats, it is very necessary for the improvement and working of your brains.
Absolutely.
So each meal has to be well balanced. It does not have to be like हम सिर्फ रोटी राइस पे concentrate कर रहे हैं जो usually Indian meals करती है. No doubt उसमें कोई बुराई नहीं है, but a well balanced meal has to be taken care for your kids' improvement.
Right. And I know now as nations and populations, we're getting obsessed with protein.
Right.
Is this obsession valid, and how can we make sure that we're including the right amount of protein necessary and essential for muscle development and growth in our children's meals?
See, as proteins are too hyped, you must be saying nowadays. It is good that we all are getting knowledge about protein, but overall food quality, quantity, everything comes in account. It shouldn't be that you are just concentrating on protein intake. Yeah, protein is necessary for overall growth and muscle development of your child. But along with that, as I mentioned earlier, carbs for energy, fats for good vitamin and mineral absorptions, and your brain is equally important. So a balanced meal is what it plays the role.
Right. For proteins, like for women, there is a ratio of say body weight to 1.2 or 1.4. For children, is there a ratio like that of body weight to protein?
Body weight to protein depends on each child differently because what kind of activity they are doing.
Right.
Are they like overdoing on any kind of, they are physically involved in some kind of sports or something. So it depends on that. So every child is its own, but normal would range from 0.6 to 0.8 grams per body weight.
What deficiencies do you see most common in children today?
It's basically mostly iron, vitamin D, calcium, and zinc are very common. These happen due to obviously kids are picky eaters and they lack sunlight and they eat too much of junk food. So
Right.
these 3 are the reasons where they lack and the deficiencies in the kids appear.
Right. Is this a recent phenomenon, or do you feel like it's been progressing over a period of time? हमारे time में तो नहीं होता था. So
अपने
why?
टाइम पे ये नहीं होता था because there was not much of इंडोर गेम्स. हम बाहर खेलते थे, हम धूप में खेलते थे, हम नॉर्मल जो मिलेट्स होती थी हमारी मदर्स वो कॉन्सेंट्रेट करती थी हमको खिलाने में. देयर वर प्योर एब्सोल्युटली 100% प्योर काउ का घी, milk and curd what we used to consume, which is not there now. So abhi jo hum khana kha rahe hain, first of all, it's not like 100% natural food what we are eating. So that is what is lacking in our times and this time.
Right. Okay, when we're talking of brain growth and development, especially, it is said that the child's brain develops in the first 5 years of life. What are the essential fats that are needed for child's brain development?
Healthy fats suppose development and focus of your child. So that is a very important element to be included on your daily basis. Either आप देसी घी खा लीजिए, nuts include कर लीजिए, seeds खा लीजिए, या फिर you can opt for some kind of oils like almond oil, sesame oil, or groundnut oil, which are a very good source of healthy fats.
Amazing. Which micronutrients are most commonly missing?
See, obviously, as we spoke earlier, kids are very freaky about all things. Up unko green leafy vegetables they will not eat. So obviously, they are missing on millets. They are missing on greens like vegetables and fruits on daily basis. But there are easy way to include them in your diet. इट कैन बी आप उसको उनको रोटी के अंदर आप उनको चर्न करके या फिर ब्लेंड करके उसको रोटी में डाल दीजिए. So there are simple ways to include them. So healthy eating is not like it has to be tasteless. You have to make your healthy foods using healthy ingredients, but the kids should not know that you have used these ingredients in their food. So it is the best way for moms to find out ways in including healthy foods and making them eat them food.
Right. Seems like a full-time job already. What roles do iron, zinc, calcium, and vitamin D play in growth? I think these are the ones that are often not spoken a lot about. I think vitamin D3 and B12 we've started to learn about now.
Right.
But I think zinc and calcium and iron is often missed, especially in children.
Obviously, we feel, kids are getting too tired because they are lacking in ions. If your kids are not getting good amount of iron food, they feel easily tired. So that is alarming for all the parents, mom, that they are lacking some kind of iron in their body. So that is one point. Zinc supports growth and immunity. So if your kids is falling sick, very frequently, they're eating good food, they're sleeping well, and still their immunity is not up to the mark, that is also a sign that your child is lacking somewhere in zinc. And the third is calcium and vitamin D. That is the most essential for your growth and development and muscles of your child, because whenever the child is growing, muscle growth is the most important thing that we have to concentrate. So vitamin D and calcium is the most needed by any child in every year of growth.
And how can parents really know if their child is deficient in any of these? Like iron, you mentioned lethargy,
right?
Zinc and vitamin D.
Zinc and vitamin D is obviously related to bones. Because if your child is playing, your child falls, they have that ligament tear or they fracture too oftenly. This is because their muscles are not strong and they are lacking calcium and vitamin D. Because as I mentioned earlier, that they are not exposed to sunlight, they are not eating calcium-rich foods. They are too finicky about consuming milk, which is a good source of calcium. No doubt, milk is not the only source of calcium. So if your child is not as freaky and not liking milk, you can opt for other foods which are good sources of calcium, like sesame, or include some kind of nuts, along with good exposure of vitamin D. Because calcium absorption is not taken place if there is no exposure of vitamin D in the body. So the best source would be sunlight.
Amazing. What is the importance of supplementation? Because I almost feel like as a mom, I am playing 100 different roles, and like it's already overwhelming to feel like I'm also supposed to play chief nutritionist officer,
Right.
and know itna calcium ja raha hai, itna zinc ja raha hai, itna, like add 1 teaspoon of zinc, add 1 teaspoon of iron and 1 teaspoon of calcium. And I'm like, it cannot be so measured. So how can, like, I give them normal healthy food, which is essential for growth, takes care of all the macros and micronutrients,
Right.
and at the same time have a layer of supplementation which assures me that we've taken care of the balance.
Right. See, any kind of supplement should be supported with the food. not replaced with the food.
Of course.
That is what, a mother or anyone who's taking care of the child should understand. Any kind of supplements are not the replacement for food. Your food has to be well balanced. Your child should love that food. And with the food comes, there are many factors involved regarding this. Your child has to sleep properly. He has to be active. There should be some kind of movements throughout the day, and he should be exposed to sunlight as well.
पूजा आजकल बच्चे लाइक हर चीज पे फूड डिलीवरी इज बिकम लाइक एक स्वाइप किया और पिज्जा हाजिर, एक स्वाइप किया ये हाजिर, एक स्वाइप किया वो हाजिर. डू यू फील दैट दिस कांस्टेंट फूड डिलीवरी और जस्ट एट द स्वाइप अगर हम अपने बच्चों का न्यूट्रिशन उसके हिसाब से डिसाइड कर रहे हैं, इट इज़ डूइंग मोर हार्म देन गुड?
Yes, obviously it is doing more harm because बच्चों के लिए तो सबसे easy होता है फ़ोन लो, ऑर्डर करो एंड हाजिर हो जाता है. But they are loaded in so much of processed food they order that they are high in sodium and everything. So उससे ज़्यादा क्या होता है, they start hating home food, because they are lacking the taste of processed food more. So this is doing the harm. So if they have a rule of 80-20, like they follow the rule of 80-20, like 80% you eat home food and 20% you are enjoying outside food, तो वो balance होगा, बच्चों को भी मज़ा आएगा. And as a parent, it's not कि हम अपने बच्चों को किसी चीज़ के लिए रोक रहे. 20% they are enjoying outside food, but 80% has to be concentrated on healthy eating from food.
एब्सोल्युटली. आई डोंट थिंक कि घर के फूड का कोई भी सोल्यूशन है. एंड आई फील लाइक आई एम गोइंग बैक टू माई चाइल्डहुड, जब हम लोग मंडे से सैटरडे वेट करते थे कि घर का खाना एंड दिस विल बी आवर फूड, दिस विल बी आवर लंच, दिस विल बी, बट दैट वन संडे मील इज व्हेन वी यूज्ड टू गो टू अ रेस्टोरेंट और ईट आउट, दैट वाज सो देयर सच fond memories उसके साथ अटैच हैं because it was only once a week. So I think like पूजा ने बताया, अगर आपको 80-20 रूल रखेंगे where 80% of the times the kids are eating healthy, nutritious, home cooked meals जो आपके रीजन से हैं, जो आप पले बड़े हैं, जिसको खाते, and then 20% you give them an occasional outing or whatever, then that is the perfect balance that we are all looking for. And of course kabhi kabar you and I really urge parents that don't dismiss your child's liking or disliking for a food. Just try and work around solutions. Maybe sometimes, like she said, agar roti, if they don't like palak, you want to add it to the roti. If they don't like, say, the taste of milk, you want to add a spoonful of something which is chocolatey, yummy, or a flavor that they really love. And I think that makes all the difference. It is not about saying no to everything, but finding a solution that works best for you and your family without compromising on being a no mom always. मैंने आपका Instagram page देखा है और you speak extensively on immunity, and today our kids are fighting more battles than when we were. If we are talking of air, water, soil quality, everything is what we are struggling with as a society. How can parents make sure that हम अपने बच्चों की immunity सुरक्षित रखें, because we are not being able to control all external factors that are going on.
Right.
But हमारे control में जो है कि ताकि हम बच्चे को अच्छा खाना दे, nutritious food दे, how can we make sure that that balance of immunity is maintained?
See, immunity for your child would come from daily habits. ये ऐसी चीज़ नहीं कि आज हमने हमारे बच्चों को कुछ अच्छा सा खिला दिया और ले शाम तक उसकी immunity बढ़ जाएगी. That's not practically possible. So it has to be well disciplined daily basis. आप अपने बच्चे को अच्छा खाना दीजिए, exposure of sunlight दीजिए. He has to do some kind of movements in a day. He has to do any kind of exercise or sports that should be included in his daily part of activities. And sleep also plays a major role. हम लोग को लगता है सब कुछ कर रहा है बच्चा, लेकिन why is he feeling so tired next day? Because the child must not be sleeping well, or he's not taking enough sleep, of good sleep of the night. So that is equally important. When you balance all the things together, that would impact and have a good immunity for your child.
Amazing. So I think to sum up what she's saying, let's make this a fistful of 5, which is healthy, nutritious food, daily rituals and habits. Then make sure that they're sleeping well, they're playing very well. And of course, I think the 5th one is love, love, love. I think our kids, if they get vitamin M and vitamin F, which is vitamin mom and vitamin family, I think they will be sorted. So let's give them that fistful of 5. If there's one question जो Kidsstoppress पे जब से मैंने शुरू किया था 12 साल पहले till now is मानसी picky eaters का problem कैसे solve किया जाए and how do I make sure that picky eaters हो तब भी उनका nutritional level जो उनकी nutritional essentials हैं वो compromise ना हो. So how do you help parents at different age groups balance this?
It depends on the age group of your child, but whatever age it would be, I would just advise all the parents, all the mothers, stop controlling your child. Stop forcing your child to eat this or do that, or they wouldn't do this because they want to be independent at this age, and they want to do whatever they feel is good. So instead of that, you give small changes to your atmosphere at home. So अगर आप अपनी फ्रिज में कुछ भी रखते हैं, start removing processed food and keep like a good healthy nutrient rich foods in your fridge. Like in my place also, when my kids were small or younger, or now also, when they open the fridge, the things they get are vegetables, fruits, milks and nuts and seeds. Sometimes they complain to me, Mama, there's nothing in a fridge or on a dining table. But if I'm keeping some kind of stuff, processed foods in my fridge or my dining, my kids are going to offer them. They're going to choose that over healthy options. So try implementing and changing and swapping foodstuffs to healthy ones.
So parents, to just sum up, Pooja ने जो कहा है कि आपकी pantry clean out कर दीजिए, make sure that आपके pantry में processed और junk food ना हो, because then your children will impulsively reach out to that. And जो भी parents Kidsstoppress में reach out करते हैं, I always tell them कि अगर एक hunger scale हो जहाँ पे 1 to 10 हो, make sure that your child never drops on a hunger scale below 5, because जब आप hunger scale में 1 to 10 हो और आप 5 के नीचे drop करते हैं, you will automatically make wrong choices, more impulsive choices. Try and find a healthier food option by the time you reach 8, because then you will make more rational choices both for you and for your child. So go ahead and practice the hunger scale route, and please make sure that if you enjoyed this part of it, then take a screenshot and then obviously tag us on Instagram. We'd love to make sure that it reaches a lot more parents. Okay, now Pooja, we come to the most fun part of the show, which is called the rapid fire. And you have to try and have fun.
Oh,
okay?
yes,
Answer in 1 or
absolutely.
2 words max.
Okay, perfect.
If parents could fix one thing today, what should it be?
Discipline and varieties.
Okay. 3 simple tiffin ideas.
Paneer paratha with curd. It can be sourdough sandwich, and it can be egg sandwich or a vegetable chilla.
Okay. How do parents reduce sugar without tantrums?
See, you cannot stop at once. Go slowly.
Your top 30-second growth advice for parents.
Concentrate on food, sunlight, movements, sleep, and water intake too.
Okay. Give us your top 5 calcium absorption hacks for kids.
Along with vitamin D, it has to be consumed. Sunlight exposure, healthy fats, nuts and seeds, and milk and milk products.
Okay. 1 or 2 quick hacks to improve zinc absorption.
Limit on processed food, include soaked nuts.
Okay. What's the best way to ensure kids actually absorb vitamin B12 from their diet?
For vegetarians, include milk, curd, and paneer. For non-vegetarian, chicken and fish.
Okay. Why do so many kids feel tired or lethargic even when they're eating enough?
You have to concentrate on quality over quantity. Healthy food is important than the large volume.
What's one simple trick to improve overall macro and micronutrient absorption in daily meals?
Consumption of healthy fats.
Okay. Your top 3 micronutrient rich foods that every child should eat.
Eggs, fruits and vegetables, and millets.
The foods you stock, the meals that you make, and the habits that you model at home will make up nearly 80% of what the child actually eats. So creating a healthy environment whereby every single meal is power packed with nutrition is an absolute must to. Also remember, parents, you are their first role model. You are their first teacher. They are going to model you every single moment. So you've got to make the wiser choices yourself. There's no substitute for that. If you love this episode, then don't forget to, of course, share it with other parents who may benefit from it, because we need to understand that that's the only way we're all going to raise healthier, happier children. parenting tips, celebrity interviews, recipes, conversations with experts, DIYs, and lots more. Subscribe to Kidsstoppress now.